evening, Marion County. In an effort to offer another forum to answer questions and to talk about things that are happening around the office and to be available to you, Marion Countyans. This is our 8th question and answer live event. If all goes well, this stream will be available on the Facebook page of the Marion County Clerk, www.facebook.com/Marion County Clerk Office, and on simultaneously our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/@Marion County Clerk Office. I'm Chad Mattingly. I'm your county clerk. We have the phone line up there. If anybody's got any questions, let's see if we can get a dial tone here. Oh, you hear it there. That's right. If you got a question, give us a call, 270-692-2651. Your questions are important to us. If they're important to you, then they're probably important to somebody else too. So don't be bashful. If you got a question about what we do around here at the County Clerk Office or something in specific, give us a call, and we'll try to answer it right here, live on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be going until we're done tonight. This is February the 24th, 2026, and we got a few things to talk about tonight. We're going to start with the renovations going on here at the David R. Harrigan Government Building in Lebanon. If you've been following the Marion County Clerk Facebook page, we've been trying to keep you updated on what and how to access the building. We're getting ready to get into what is our most high traffic time of the year, March Madness with March renewals, and about the time that we really get into that is when they're going to start working on the columns in the back of the building where 95% of the people come through. So that's going to be an issue that we're going to work right through. The front of the building, if they're working in the back, the front of the building will be open. If they're working in the front, then the back of the building will be open. Part of the parking lot is going to be used up to stage these columns throughout the renovation. But the crew is doing a tremendous job, Blevins Construction, and they'll get done soon. And in the meantime, if you have issues accessing the building, don't hesitate to give us a call at 270-692-2651. We will help you get in the building. If we can't help you get in the building, we'll come out to the parking lot for you. You know, if there's an accessibility issue or if there's any reason in the world that you can't make it into the building, give us a call and we will come out to you. Like I say, we're getting into the biggest month of the year, March Madness, around here at the County Clerk's Office. And part of that is boat renewals. Boats expire at the end of April. The notices for boats have already been sent by the state, but guess what? We are not allowed to renew those until March 1st. So people have been coming in the last day or two with boat renewal notices, and we've been telling them that we can't do it. But next week we should be able to, and thanks to County Clerk Amy Alvey in Oldham County for the graphic you see on the screen there. You may have got your notice, but it'll be next week before we can renew those. So come on in next week and we will get those renewed for you anytime before April, the end of April. The big driver of traffic for this next coming month will be farm tags and weight tags and trailer tags and RV tags and any kind of trailer, camper trailer, truck trailer, any truck with a weight plate on it, including farm tags, will be due in March. So there were over 1 million renewal notices sent out statewide for March. 1,021,632 is the number I heard. It's our biggest month by far on the motor vehicle side of the office. You know, we have other times of the year that are hectic, election time, that kind of thing. But on the motor vehicle side, March is the granddaddy of them all. And the ag tag, that's the traditional farm plate. It's a weight plate. That's what you buy with the farm tag, is the additional weight that you get to use for your agricultural products. You get 26,000 or 38,000 pounds for the same price as a regular 6,000 pound plate. And in that plate comes the opportunity to make a voluntary donation to 3 different wonderful programs: the 4-H program, the FFA program, and the Kentucky Proud program. Those 3 programs split that $10 donation that you have the option of paying on that farm plate renewal. Even. They each get a third of it. Half of that third goes to the local chapter. So 1/6 of that $10 will come back to Marion County to the FFA, and 1/6 of that $10 will come back to Marion County for the 4-H program. Very good programs that help our youth, and we're going to ask you if you want to continue to make that donation whenever you renew your vehicle. If you renew online, the default is that you pay it. The farm plate is the only special plate that has an optional donation now. It used to be that, all of the special plates have a $10 donation built into them. The breast cancer plate, the autism plate, the Alzheimer's plate, the cold plate, the sportsman plate, all of them. The UK plate, the UVL plate, they all got a $10 donation built into them that goes to the organization that sponsors the plate. It's a fundraiser for those organizations. It used to be that you could opt out of any of them, and now those donations are all part of the price. There is no opt out on those donations. The farm plate is the last remaining plate that has an opt out feature on it, and it goes to 3 organizations. Now, what the state of Kentucky has introduced, because farm plates, like I say, they're a weight plate. That's what they are. They're a 26,000, 38,000 pound weight plate for your agricultural products. What the state of Kentucky done has introduced a Friends of Agriculture plate. It's brand new this year. You'll see it on your screen there. It's a new way to support and promote Kentucky agriculture on all vehicles. People come in sometimes. I've had people ask to put a farm plate on a Corvette before, but farm plates are only issuable to a truck because trucks need the weight. The Friends of Agriculture plate, can be issued to that Corvette. Now, they have the $10 donation that is split the 3 ways, just like the regular farm plate, but it is an mandatory. It's like all the other plates. It is a donation that is just part of the plate. So the regular farm plate weight tag will remain the only one that you can opt out of. We've got a question in the chat. Hello, Regina. She's asking about the Kentucky COPS plate. I'm assuming that's tell me if I'm right or wrong, Regina, but that's the fallen officer plate. It does have a donation that goes to the Fallen Officer Trust, the Fallen Officer Memorial, and it too has a $10 donation. We do have those plates available to anybody that wants them. Some of the special plates have requirements, that you have to. If it was an FOP plate, if it was if it was a Fraternal Order of Police plate, then you would have to be a member of the Fraternal Order of Police. If it's a Kentucky Colonel plate, you have to be a Kentucky Colonel. But something like that's what Regina is asking about, is the Fallen Officer plate, the Fallen Officer Memorial plate. That is available to anybody. Plates like that go to a cause, that we can all support. You know, we can all support the Memorial for Fallen Officers. It's another great organization. My wife has an Alzheimer's plate on her van, so that goes to the Alzheimer's research, and anybody can have those plates. So any of our special plates are, most of them are available to just about anybody, unless you're like a firefighter plate. You have to be on an active roster to get a firefighter plate. There's only one person in our county that has a state senator plate, and that's our state senator, Jimmy Higdon. You know, nobody else qualifies for that plate. So that's the new plate that's coming up, the Friends of Agriculture plate. It's a beautiful plate with the American flag and the rolling fields and the tree line and all three of those organizations. So we will have those just as soon as possible. We can't order them yet. I've been told that the 27th is when we'll be able to order those. So just as soon as we can, I check it every day. As soon as we can, we're going to order a whole big bunch of them because I think they're going to be popular. Until then, people, we've got plates like the Kentucky Cattlemen's Association plate that you can get a hold of. And that has a donation that's you can't opt out of that goes to the Cattlemen's Association. So all kinds of ways to support agriculture on this March agricultural month around here. And hopefully within March we'll be having more reasons to consider leaving that donation on your farm plate or consider getting one of these Friends of Agriculture plates. I really like them. The good thing about these plates are they are renewable online, and you don't need a renewal notice to renew, either in person or online. All you need is your license plate number, your title number, and a form of payment. The farm plates are renewable online. It is going to be, March is the time when people wait around here. We feel like a DMV. We've got Miss Cynthia is new here at the clerk office, and this will be her first March. And we have pre-warned her that March is, there's days that you don't stop at all. You finish, you give one person your full attention until we have them taken care of, and then we ask for the next person because there's somebody waiting in line. And that's what a lot of days are in March. So there will be lines in every county clerk office. So get here early in the month. Get here, take advantage of our Saturday hours. We'll be here every Saturday, not just in March, but every Saturday throughout the year. That's not a holiday Saturday from 8:20 to 11:50. So take advantage of those. Take advantage of renewing online. You can renew vehicles online. It is easier than ever, and we will mail them to you. And if you got a license plate, that some people, what they'll do is when they get their income tax refunds, they'll go ahead and take care of. I know at one point I would pay my water bill for the rest of the year when I got my income tax refund. Things like that. And some people, what they'll do is they'll turn around and go ahead and renew their vehicles and that kind of thing. And you can do that. So regardless if it's February, March, April, if it's a June, July, August, October renewal, you can go ahead and do that here in person or online. Or if you just want to know what your October renewal will be so that you can do some budgeting for the rest of the year, then you can go online and get that cost. Now, one of the, that's about all I've got on the motor vehicle side. Just remember, there's going to be lines. Take advantage of all the other mail-in options, the online renewals, and think about donating to the wonderful FFA, 4-H, and Kentucky Proud programs when you do your farm plate. let's switch now to the land record side of our office briefly. Let's remember that land records and marriage licenses and delinquent taxes are free to access on the Marion County website. You can go to www.marioncoclerkky.gov. Right there on your screen, you'll see. And you can do free online land record search. You can utilize the name aspect or it's called an AI search is what it's called on there, but it's more like a IntelliSearch. What it does is it historically all of your land records, whether it's our office or anywhere, they're indexed by grantor and grantee. I'm getting the weeds a little bit here, and you could search in the indexes, in the paper indexes, or online by the buyer or the seller, the grantor or the grantee. Well, now what we've got is the ability to type in keywords, so you could do an address, or you could do a price, anything that you could think of, really. And our system will search not only the grantor grantee, not only the description that we put in there, but it'll also search the scanned image of each of those documents. So you can search for anything that you can think of, really, and pick out all the images that we have scanned that have that keyword in there. It's kind of unprecedented. There's only a few counties that have it, and it's really, really helpful. That's free online at Marion County, MarionCoclerkKY.gov. On your screen there, you'll see an arrow pointing to where that free online land record search is. And then you can also sign up for a title watch. You hear the ads on the radio and on the TV. In the middle, we'll have Andy Griffith playing at the house, and somebody will come on talking about, LifeLock and protect your property. Well, we've got a version of that through the vendor that we use for our indexing and land records, and it's called Title Watch. You could sign up for that for free and get notifications by email or text if anything happens with the property that you set up. You can watch your property, you can watch your parents' property, your children's property, to make sure that if something is recorded that shouldn't be, you know about it immediately. And it works pretty good. Works really good, really. But that's fairly new. But always remember that is available to you as a Marion Countian on our website. Another thing we do in the office here is elections. So let's get on to that. Let's finish with elections. Let's get a preview of the ballots that you'll see at the primary election polling locations in Marion County. We're going to look at each one of the ballots that you'll see when you go to vote in Marion County. I've got the preview ballots here. You see at the top there it says, I don't know if you can see that or not, preview ballot. These have been checked for accuracy, and these are the ballots this is what the ballot will look like. And what I've done is I've cut that out and put it on the district. So if you see where you live and what party you are, that'll show you what's going to be on your ballot. Now remember, primary elections in Kentucky are held on the first Tuesday after the third Monday in May. It's a nominating election for the parties, and primary is closed to qualified registered members of that party. To be qualified, a voter must be registered as a member of the party by December 31st of the year preceding the primary, and stay qualified by staying continuously registered as a member of that party until the primary. A voter can only vote in one party's primary, the choice of which has to be made by December 31st, unless you're a new voter. If you're a new voter, you've got till April 20th to register. We'll look at those dates here in a minute. Excuse my cough and my stuffy nose and my Mountain Dew. I've got just a little taste of the crud going around in my head right now. So that's what a primary election is. Let's get looking at the ballots. If this is your district, this is the first magisterial district in Marion County. It is made up of areas like Braversville and Danville Highway and Gravel Switch and that eastern part of Lebanon. That is the first magistrate district. And if you are a Democrat in the first magistrate district, your ballot will include the U.S. Senator. And you can see the candidates there: Blanton, Thompson, Booker, Stevenson, Romans, Forsythe, and McGrath. We'll also have the candidates for state senator. For the 14th senatorial district, that will include Carrie Gribbins Truitt and Malcolm W. Jones. The Democrat ballot in the 1st district and throughout the county will have all 4 of these races on it, including the sheriff race, which will have Ray Gardner, William Chad Rakes, and Jeff Coel, and the jailer's race between Tony Furman and Tina Wright Huntsberger. That is the 1st magistrate district in Marion County if you're a Democrat. If you're a Republican in the 1st magistrate district, I'm sorry I got on top of your map there, but I wanted to not make it too small because there's a lot of state senator candidates and U.S. Senate candidates on the Republican side. I'm going to go through the U.S. Senate candidates real quick. Wenzel, Duncan, Washington, Frederick, Barr, Morris, Leon, Shelley, Cameron, Catlett, Ferris, and Holliday. On the U.S. Representative, our Congress, candidates on the Republican side will be Sims, Sotheby, Arcos, and Comer. The Republican also has the 14th senatorial district on it. A few more candidates than on the Democrat ballot. There is, Peggy Brady Smith, Brian Bayers, James Victory, Ben Mudd, Stephen Carney, Dallas Robinson, and Lynn Shelburne. And then the 1st district Republican ballot will include the local race for county judge executive on the Republican side between Joe Strong and Walter E. Livers Jr. So that's your 1st magisterial district. 2nd magistrate district for the Democrats will include the same top of the ticket candidates for U.S. Senator and State Senator, including, let me move these around here in my notes. Yeah, the same U.S. Senator and State Senator candidates. U.S. Senator against Blanton's Thompson, Booker, Stevenson, Romans, Forsythe, and McGrath. And for State Senator, 14th Senatorial District, Carrie Gribbins Truitt and Malcolm W. Jones. The sheriff race will be in District 2 county-wide between Ray Gardner, William Chad Rakes, and Jeff Coel. And the jailer race between Tony Furman and Tina Wright Huntsberger. On the Republican side, it's going to be the same ballot as what you saw in the 1st district with Wenzel, Duncan, Washington, Frederick, Barr, Morris, Leon, Shelley, Cameron, Catlett, Ferris, and Holliday for U.S. Senate. And then for Congress, Sims, Sotheby, Arcos, and Comer. And then the 14th Senatorial District, Peggy Brady Smith, Brian Bayers, James Victory, Ben Mudd, Stephen Carney, Dallas Robinson, and Lynn Shelburne. And then the local race for county judge on the Republican side, Joe Strong and Walter E. Livers Jr. In the 3rd district, all right, so the 2nd district, before we get off of that, let's look, there we go. That includes the south side of Lebanon and then that east side of Campbellsville Highway, everything over through Calvary and Phillipsburg and that area of the county. The 3rd district includes Jessetown, St. Joe, Raywick, A lot of Miller Pike, the south side of Miller Pike, mostly, and then McRoy Pike, in that area of the county, until you get about halfway between St. Francis and Raywick is where the cutoff is. There about Wimsett Road is where the cutoff is going that way, all the way to the Taylor County line. This race, this on the Democrat side, has your U.S. Senators Blanton, Thompson, Booker, Stevenson, Romans, Forsythe, and McGrath. Has the two candidates for State Senate, Kerry Gribbins Truitt, Malcolm W. Jones. The three candidates for Sheriff, Ray Gardner, William Chad Rakes, and Jeff Quayle. And the two candidates for Jailer, Tony Furman and Tina Wright Huntsberger. And it also has two candidates for the third magistrate seat, and that's Craig Allen Bishop and Tommy Troutman. That's the difference that you'll see between the first and second district and this third district is the magistrate race. On the Republican side, it is the same ballot, basically, that you saw in the first and second district for U.S. Senator Wenzel, Duncan, Washington, Frederick, Barr, Morris, Leon, Shelley, Cameron, Catlett, Ferris, and Holiday. For Congress, Sims, Sotheby, Arcos, and Comer. And then for State Senator, Peggy Brady Smith, Brian Bayers, James Victory, Ben Mudd, Stephen Carney, Dallas Robinson, and Lynn Shelburne. And then the local race on the Republican side for County Judge Executive between Joe Strong and Walter E. Livers Jr. So that's your third district on the Republican side. Now we get into the fourth district, which is the Loretto, Holy Cross, St. Francis, St. Mary's area, the most of like Coward Lane and that. No, but that Loretta Highway area, a lot of Sam Browning and Coward Lane gets into the 5th district. But the Democrat ballot is the same that you saw in the 1st and 2nd district. For U.S. Senate, Blanton, Thompson, Booker, Stevenson, Romans, Forsythe, and McGrath. For State Senator, 14th Senatorial District, Kerry Gribbins Truitt and Malcolm W. Jones. For Sheriff, Ray Gardner, William Chad Rakes, and Jeff Quayle. And for Jailer, Tony Furman and Tina Wright Huntsberger. On the Republican side, it's going to look a lot like what it did in all the other districts so far. For U.S. Senate, Wenzel, Duncan, Washington, Frederick, Barr, Morris, Leon, Shelley, Cameron, Catlett, Ferris, and Holiday. For Congress, Sims, Sotheby, Arcos, and Comer. For the 14th Senatorial State Senate District, Peggy Brady Smith, Brian Bayers, James Victory, Ben Mudd, Stephen Carney, Dallas Robinson, and Lynn Shelburne. And for the Republican nomination for County Judge Executive, Joe Strong and Walter E. Livers. So that's been the ballot in every district so far on the Republican side. Then in the 5th Magistrate District, you've got, there's Sam Brown and Coward Lane. St. Rose Road, the north side of Lebanon, Springfield Highway, the west side of Barbers Mill Road. That's all in the 5th district. On the Democrat side, you're going to see the 4 races that you've seen in all the other districts. In U.S. Senate, Blanton, Thompson, Booker, Stevenson, Romans, Forsythe, and McGrath. State Senate, 14th Senatorial District, you'll see Kerry Gribbins Truitt and Malcolm W. Jones. For Sheriff, Ray Gardner, William Chad Rakes, and Jeff Quayle. For Jailer, Tony Furman and Tina Wright Huntsberger. And then in the 5th Magisterial District on the Democrat side, you'll see the two Democrat candidates for magistrate, Caleb Buckman and Glenn G. Thompson. On the Republican side, you see the same ballot that you saw in every other district. On the U.S. Senate, Wenzel, Duncan, Washington, Frederick, Barr, Morris, Leon, Shelley, Cameron, Catlett, Ferris, and Holliday. In Congress, Sims, Sotheby, Arcos, and Comer. For the 14th Senatorial State Senate District, you'll see Peggy Brady Smith, Brian Bayers, James Victory, Ben Mudd, Stephen Carney, Dallas Robinson, and Lynn Shelburne. And then for the Republican nomination for County Judge Executive, Joe Strong and Walter E. Livers Jr. So that is what the ballots will look like in the month of May. May 19th is election day for the primary election. Let's look at some important election dates coming up. Right there on your screen, you'll see that the last day to choose party affiliation before the 2026 primary has passed. It's the only date on this that has passed. That was December 31st. April 4th, so about a little over a month, a little over a month away. Mail-in absentee ballots can be requested online. The portal opens 45 days before the election. The last day to register to vote is April 20th, but you wouldn't want to change your party affiliation necessarily because it will make you ineligible for both of the party primaries if you change it between December 31st and the registration deadline. And then May 5th is when the mail-in absentee request portal will close. That's 14 days before the election. You must have your request in for a mail-in ballot before then, and you must have a valid reason, a legal reason to request an absentee ballot. If you can't do that online, you are welcome to call here at 270-692-2651, and we will assist you in requesting that absentee ballot. We have a bipartisan dream team of ballot processors. When I say bipartisan, Democrat and Republican, that are responsible and do a tremendous job of processing those absentee ballots. So when they come in, we've got lots of checks and balances in the Kentucky election system. There's a lot of talk in the news about elections. It doesn't get any better than Kentucky's, and in some ways we take some of those checks and balances a step further in Marion County, and every every vote that's cast is done on a paper ballot that can be recounted. We have a random machine audit after the election to make sure that what the machine reads is the same as what two bipartisan people would read. You have to be an American citizen to register to vote. You have to have ID when you show up at the polling location. Our precinct election officers are trained and are amazing, and everybody from top to bottom wants to make sure that if you're eligible to vote, that you get that opportunity, from the County Board of Elections down to school-age kids that we have that help with setting up. Everybody involved wants to make sure that if you're eligible, we make it easy for you to vote, but very hard for you to cheat. And that's the state of Kentucky's election system, and it's one of the best. It's a great system that we improve on every year. So if anybody has any questions about how an election the steps that are taken, the preparation that goes into it to make sure that everybody has the ability that is eligible, but also the checks and balances to make sure that the votes are tabulated correctly. Come by anytime. I'll bore you to death with election details because there's a lot of details to it, and I'm happy to go through them with anybody. And so back to our election dates here. I got sidetracked on the Dream Team because they're amazing. I think about them. There wasn't any elections last year, and I thought about them all year because they're just awesome. In-person absentee voting. Again, you must have an excuse to do this. That takes place here in the office with the amazing folks that I get to work with every day. We handle that. There's not a lot of people that qualify for that window, that 6-day absentee window. If there was any part of the process that I wish we could figure out a way to get around, that would be it, that we would extend the mail-in aspect and extend the early vote to meet in the middle to where that part's just not a lot of people qualify. There's 6 days there where it doesn't do the voters much good. But then we get into early voting. No excuse absentee voting is what it's called, but we just simply call it early voting. And that's the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday prior to the election in Marion County this time, going all out at the Event Center, 8 to 8. And I don't think we're doing 12 hours again. I need to go back and, when I say that out loud, there were 2 counties that did it in the presidential, us and Bell County, I think. It's been a long day. You know, like I say, the crud in my head, it's got me. But yeah, I think we're doing it again. Like I said, the County Board of Elections, they want to make it accessible for the voters of Marion County. So we're going to have 36 hours, 12 hours for those 3 days of early voting out at the Event Center, 14th, 15th, and 16th. And then on May 19th is the primary election day. We will have 12 polling locations open in Marion County that any eligible voter can cast their ballot in. So if you live in Raywick but you didn't make it to the Raywick polling location in time, and you're coming back from Springfield, and you're not going to make it to any of the traditional polling locations in that district, you could stop at Center Square or at the VFW or at the library or at the Hergen building, or if you're going to Danville and you need to swing in by Gravel Switch, you can do that. If you're living in St. Mary's but you somehow missed the one down at St. Charles, or didn't turn in on School Drive and go to the Loretta City Hall, you can stop in at Holy Cross on your way out of town. Or it's accessible to you, 12 polling locations on Election Day. I'll get that map updated. That way everybody knows exactly where that is. So that's May 19th, primary election day. I'll be here before you know it. Before then, we've got, just recap, we've got March Madness coming up, one of the busiest times in motor vehicles. If you have a March renewal, then go ahead and get in here, or do it online. It's available for you online. If you want to do your Mays and your Junes before you get the renewal notice, you're welcome to do that too. You can do that online, or you can come in here with your driver's license and your insurance, and we could probably make it happen. If you did get a boat renewal, remember, we can't do them until next week. Sorry about that. I tried to get somebody to turn that on today up in Frankfort, and I got shot down pretty quick. So I tried again, and then I got shot down again. But I decided that I should probably maybe try again with somebody else. And that person wasn't able to do it then either. And then I got busy doing something else. But we want to renew your boats, but we won't be able to do it until next week. So come on in here and we'll do that next week. You've got your renewal notice on that. Land records available online for free. Title watch online for free. Before we get out of here, though, one of the things that we like to do on these live streams is we try to shine a spotlight on the wonderful work that some of our colleagues around county government are doing. And one of the things that we want to highlight this live, oh my goodness, before we do that, we've got to talk about this crew, the, the, the precinct election officers. If you're a precinct election officer, how did I almost get past this? I'm very disappointed in myself. This crud it's got me all messed up. If you're a precinct election officer, we have one of the best rosters of precinct election officers around. And if you've been on the roster, the last election we had was 2024. So we're reaching out. The letters went in the mail today. Today is Tuesday, the 24th. They went in the mail today. Michelle got those. She took them to the post office today about, I would imagine it was about 11:30 this morning that Michelle went to the post office with them. So they got in today's mail. And if you've been a precinct election officer before, if you've ever signed up, you got a letter coming, and we're asking you to sign up again. And we'd very much appreciate you signing up again. We've got a lot of people that we're sending letters to this time that it'll be their first time because they have signed up since 2024. So expect those letters in the mail. They come with a self-addressed stamped envelope, not stamped envelope, a self-addressed stamped envelope, so that you can return the little form that you fill out. It's super simple. We just basically your name and your address and your phone number, and then we've got whether you want to continue to be or whether there's 4 different options for you to pick. Please send that back before the middle of March. That way we can get in under that deadline. And if you're interested in becoming a poll worker, we had somebody sign up yesterday and Sunday. Sunday got an email from the State Board of Elections where somebody had signed up online, and we're very appreciative of that and very appreciative of people walking in to sign up as poll workers. You're joining an amazing crew of people. One of my favorite parts about early voting is that I get to spend the whole day in the polling location. We kind of treat early voting as a on-the-job training, and I get to stay there. And on election day, I don't get to do that, but on early voting, I get to. And I really, really enjoy it. And the conversations that our poll workers have, they're experienced and they're intelligent and they're patriotic, and it's like being amongst the best of the best. And if you work an election day or an early voting, then you get to get in on them conversations, and it's a real pleasure. If you want to do that, you can shoot me an email at chad.mattingly@ky.gov. If I don't get back with you real quick, you can give us a call at 270-692-2651 and say, hey, Chad, how come you haven't answered my email? If that don't work, come on in here. But either way, if you want to be, I'm probably going to answer your email pretty quick. That's one of them things that I'll answer you back that night in a lot of cases. Sometimes I'll answer emails on a Sunday and people will be like, what are you doing in there on a Sunday? And that's just, part of it. But I always like to hear from people that are willing to work the polls, and I'm always loving to hear from the people that are currently on the roster. Because like I said, they're the best of the best. They're intelligent, patriotic, community-oriented. It's just a real pleasure. So you can be a part of a dream team too. That's a pretty good sized dream team right there. The Marion County roster of precinct election officers. You do get paid. Um, we do our training the uh, the Wednesday before the election is the way I phrased it to somebody yesterday, and they made fun of me here in the office. It's May the 5th is when that actually is, the day that the online portal closes. That wouldn't be the 5th, it'd be the 6th, would be the Wednesday before the election day. But 13 days before the election is when we do our training, and that gets everybody fresh on their mind right before the early voting starts and the election day starts. And you do get paid for that. We try to keep it under 2 hours. Sometimes I ruin that and we go a little long. And if people got questions, it's good to ask. It's a good place to ask them. And we'll have people ask questions, and that's always good to hear. And then you do get paid for early voting, and you do get paid for election day. Early voting, we split that up into shorter shifts. Like I say, we're doing a 12-hour day, so we'll split it up into 2 7-hour shifts. That's how that works, to where we have overlap in the middle, and then beginning and end setup time and close down time. So it's 14 hours worth of shifts in a 12-hour day, but we break it up into 2 7-hour shifts for early voting. So we have some people that like doing that can't do the, because election day's long. You're there at 5 a.m. and you're not, if we get out of here and tabulate it up by 9 o'clock, it's a smooth day. So for a precinct election officer, for a poll worker, it's a long day. And some choose to do early voting and not election day. And some do election day and not early voting. And we like to be flexible about that, because we appreciate everybody's willingness to do anything. So that's our poll workers know that the letters are in the mail today. So hopefully you'll be getting them before the end of the week. Before we get out of here tonight, like I say, we try to spotlight some of the amazing things that are happening amongst our county government. Marion County has lots of things going on. There's a lot of things that the Marion County Fiscal Court and County Judge's Office do that a lot of counties don't. We've got a tremendous emergency management coordinator now, and a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about on these live streams are, there's going to be very few times that I'm going to say this is something that you should do. I'm going to say a lot of things are going to be your choice, and this is your choice too. But as a person, as a county a resident of Marion County, as your friend, as your neighbor, as your family member, as your football coach, as your friend, you should do this. You should sign up for the Hyper Reach notification system. With the flurries that we've been having the last couple of days and the cold weather that we've had, and then the 70-degree weather that we had this weekend and the stuff that's got me all cruded up, it's hard to believe that we are entering into a tornado season. Yeah, right now we're getting ready to jump right into a tornado season, and now is the time to sign up for the Hyper Reach notification system. You get tornado warnings, you get severe thunderstorm warnings, you get flooding warnings, you get emergency updates of all types. It is easy to do. You can text alerts. You can do this right now. I guess turn me off would be better. Text alerts, ALERTS, to 270-321-3535 and sign up for the Hyper Reach system. If you don't want to, if you're sitting there next to your computer right now, go to hyper-reach.com/KYMarionSignup.html and sign up for the severe weather notification system that's offered to you free of charge by the Marion County Fiscal Court, Marion County County Judge's Office, the Marion County Emergency Management. It could save your life. So, as somebody that loves you, I ask that you go ahead and do that. Sign up for alerts. Text that to 270-321-3535. And, yeah, let's max it out. Let's make them charge us more because we got too many people signed up for it. Let's sign up for that. That's all I got tonight. We done recapped it once. Let's do it again. What's another 2 minutes? In case anybody just showed up. Boat renewals. We can do them Monday. Can't do them now. Ag tags. Think about donating on them farm plates. $10 goes to FFA 4-H Kentucky Proud. You don't want to come in here because it's going to be a long line? Do it online. Renew it online. There's the website. If you look on our Facebook page, there's multiple posts with the link. All you need is your plate number, your title number, and a credit card. What else we got? Primary elections coming up. Here's what your ballots look like. And then if you want to be a poll worker and join the best and brightest, and me too, come on down. Work an election with us. It's fun. Mostly. It's interesting, for sure. But when you get a chance, sign up for HyperReach. You text alerts, ALERTS, to 270-321-3535. It's 6:53 now. It looks like technical difficulties did not happen. I appreciate Miss Regina for asking her question. If anybody's got any questions, it's last call for questions. You can call us at 270-692-2651. I am stopping at the store, getting a Sprite or Canada Dry for the most beautiful woman in the entire world, and maybe some of that fizzy Alka-Seltzer cold stuff for myself. And getting some of that spaghetti out here that's at the house. If y'all need anything, give us a call. Monday through Friday from 8:20 to 4:20. And then any Saturday except for holiday Saturdays from 8:20 to 11:50. Here at the Marion County Clerk Office, on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for allowing us to serve you. And if you ever have anything that you want to talk about on one of these live events, don't hesitate to give me a holler. Wishing you all a great night. I'm getting out of here. I'm Chad Mattingly, your county clerk. I'm going to leave you with a beautiful sight. The sight of that Marion County flag flying with a blue, blue sky behind it. Watch this. My goodness, it's beautiful. Good night, y'all. Take care. Stay warm. Hope you don't get the crud.